Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. As we're going to have plenty to talk about here on a Tuesday, as we'll get to what to watch, presented by Bryant Technologies. We'll also have a little vibe checking of the chat, presented by our friends at Basis Health. We'll also get into our Alumni Hall question of the day, some buy or sell action according to BetSaracen, and of course have some overall fun and keep the vibes high on a Tuesday. So fellas, it's good to see you once again. How are the vibes? How are we feeling here on this beautiful Tuesday here in Fayetteville?
The vibes suck, man. I'm irritated. I usually love this day, the last day of the portal, but it's driving me insane because every single dude that enters, you now have to go and look them up and see if they actually have eligibility or if they run these guys who's just holding out with the hope that they can get a miraculous fifth year. It's driving me crazy, man. I feel like I'm Googling names like a madman over here. And 9 times out of 10, what I've realized the last couple of days is when I see a dude where I'm like, oh man, that would be a great ad. Yeah, he could be that piece that fits or makes sense. And then I look him up and it's like, oh nope, played 4 full years. So unless that fifth year thing comes through, it ain't happening. It's driving me absolutely insane this morning.
Is today national, like, you know, we got the uptick in people who declare for the draft despite the fact that they had no eligibility left and also have no chance of getting drafted. We've seen the uptick in that. Is now it's happening where people are entering the portal that just can't enter the portal. It's like, yes. you cannot attend college, buddy. Do not enter the portal.
Dude, there's got to be 500, and I'm not even exaggerating, names in the portal now that are just guys who don't have any eligibility at this time. It's crazy.
Well, I'm just going to let you know, based on that, when I make my next trip to Washington, I am going to put forth a bill, and it's for legislation to make it a criminal act that you declare for the portal or whatever it is if you do not have any eligibility left. It will be a criminal act because I feel like there's zero reason for that other than to just do what they're doing to Curtis, which is pissing him off. Like, the only thing that you're doing is just pissing people off.
Can we commend Nelly Davis even more now? Because he posted a statement that did not declare for the draft because he knew he didn't need to do that. And he also didn't enter the portal, just simply thanks for letting me hang out for a year. I like that. We didn't normalize those kind of statements that are just statements to make statements. Because I sometimes feel like people would declare for the draft or enter the portal just to make a statement. It's like, you can just say, go woo pig and thanks.
Good on him, a guy who gets it. And then the folks who do make statements, they're all now being heavily scrutinized, right? It's like, a dude Thero declares for the draft, but he didn't say in there that he was foregoing his college eligibility. So is he coming back? Boogie Flan declared for the draft, but we're hearing that he might hit the transfer portal sometime today. So like we can't even take these guys on the words that they do put out there nowadays. And, it's just, it's a little bit of a cluster, man. Now, for the record, I don't blame the kids who are trying to get that fifth year that are entering the transfer portal. You should, because like that's eventually going to go to a vote whenever they decide whether or not they're going to pass revenue sharing. Like after that, the NCAA is going to vote on it. Based on everything I've gathered, it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen, but you never know. And maybe there'll be some lawsuits and things like that. But at least it gives you the opportunity to keep your options open. I don't blame the kids so much as I blame the NCAA, the lack of regulation, and this whole goat rodeo that's been portal season here.
I will never get used to how many like life-changing decisions are made on the fly this time of year. I think of the month of December with football all the time, where I'm just like, imagine being 17 and about to attend college, and like you have no idea who your coach is going to be. What your NIL is going to be, if you have a roster spot, if you're going here or here, and you're moving in January. Yeah. It's like, it's always just crazy to me. And it kind of feels that way where you have guys that are like, do I need to get on LinkedIn? Like I need to check before I can officially confirm that I cannot go back to school. It's big time stuff. Like these guys are going to have their lives depended by this vote next week.
Yeah. And it's something where I get where some players are just maybe trying to, kind of cheat the system a little bit, or at least play the system a little bit. But I can't help but think that a lot of it is also just, I need some attention still. I'm like my last grasp for something, people to be talking about me or to maybe bring me into the limelight. Maybe some coach is an idiot that's some other school and they're like, hey, this guy said he's entering the portal and calls me up, and then I can maybe convince him to get me something. Like it's almost like just throwing something against the wall and hoping it sticks, just hoping and praying that maybe, just maybe something can come from it, which I get. But at the same time, I mean, it's transfer portal season's chaotic as it is, my man. It's as crazy as it is already. We don't need y'all coming in here with zero eligibility. Like, well, I want to be a part of it too, and then just throwing it around. We don't need
Oh man, yeah, and to talk about the like the NBA draft side of it, and because a lot of guys will enter the draft, maintain their college eligibility. Well, now the fad that you're seeing is they'll declare for the draft and also enter the transfer portal. And that doesn't always necessarily mean that they're going to transfer. In a lot of cases it does, but if you're not a lottery pick, in my opinion, if you're going to go through the draft process, you should enter the transfer portal. Don't listen to me, Carter Knox, because I don't want you to do it. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, if I declare for the draft and then I go through that process and I decide, oh, you know what, I want to go back to college. Well, if you don't have your options open for colleges and you're not going to the draft, you go back to your team. They have all the leverage. They have all the negotiation power. Whatever they offer, you have to take it. You don't really have a choice. If you're at least in the transfer portal, you could say, yo, like I'm trying to come back here and not go to the league. I'm trying to come back and wear the logo another year. You're not going to take care of me. I'll get the hell out of here. And a lot of agents are telling their guys to do that, even if they have no intention whatsoever of transferring or coming back to college or anything. It's all about leverage. It's all about giving yourself maximum flexibility and being able to max out the amount of NIL or whatever we want to call it, money that you can get. It's between that and the 5th year thing, man. It's just and the contracts that kids are signing that aren't enforceable, so they're just doing whatever they want. I mean, it's comedy and it's very entertaining.
Curtis, I had this comment. I was starring it at right before you said these agents are telling these guys to do
I like
this.
that.
Because it's 100% true. We also, in the business, we call that the Trevor in Brazil. He played this to a T last year.
Yes.
Entered the portal, let all the chaos happen, and then kind of snooped in at the end and was like, you got a spot for me or no? And they were like, yeah, we got a spot.
All I really need you to do, Cal, is take me to Doe's and buy me a steak, and we're good, man.
I mean, but seriously, though, I mean, Trevin's case, actually, Arkansas is set up for something like that this year. Maybe, obviously, it might not be. I mean, Trevin, we expect him to come back. But somebody who very late in the process might be available in that, like, June, July window, and you're just like, we actually do have a spot for you. Come on down. I guess there's technically a candidate on the team, but there's going to be just guys that come available at later points in the offseason. And Arkansas, with the way this is played out, is kind of set up where they probably have 2 spots to work with. Ideally, they would only have 1 spot left by the time that June, July period comes. But I think they're in a good spot here. This is actually kind of interesting.
It is.
Yeah. I was going to ask if, since the portal technically closes tonight, is there going to, I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Is there going to be any sort of BS that happens where not with Arkansas and a player, but like somehow Arkansas is connected somewhere with something, like there is. Like, I just feel like that's inevitable, that there's going to be something that happens where, say if it's like this big time player that's at one school that has not entered the portal, then he just drops a bomb. He's like, I'm in the portal. And then you got Jeff Goodman being like, yeah, he's got heard Arkansas is interested. And all of a sudden, it just explodes. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, we need this guy. And everything, it goes crazy. And then come to find out, he was just trying to get some leverage and trying to do something. Like, I mean, I have a feeling, I know it's really going out on a limb, that something like that is going to happen today. And I'm ready for it. It
absolutely is. And even if it's not real, this fan base is so crazed and so starved for more and what's next that they'll manufacture it, man. Like it doesn't even matter. Hell, that exact situation kind of played out yesterday, right? Where, we've been hearing all the rumblings about Chad Baker-Mazara and, is Arkansas going to kick the tires there? Sounds like they might be interested. Oh, it's confirmed. There's Goodman. Yep. Hell yeah. Arkansas is one of the 4 schools that we know for sure has reached out to him. And then like within a half hour, everybody who covers this stuff for the U of A, I think received like a varying degree of the same message, which was, yeah, we're not pursuing this. Sorry. Like, hate to burst everybody's bubbles of excitement, but Chad Baker-Mazara at Arkansas ain't happening. So as soon as we all put out our eyeball emojis and everything, and then we get that, and every single one of us has to double back and go, yeah, you know what? Actually, would have been cool, but no, not happening.
That was crazy. They hit that copy and forward to 10 people.
Bro.
Literally, it was like a group session. It was funny just seeing, but like you said, all of that happened in like a 3-hour window.
Yeah.
Like the start and finish of the saga all happened in a 3-hour window. I got to be honest, guys, that's why people, as much as they say we hate this new era, we hate this new portal, people love this stuff. The fact that everything is on the table at any given moment, it kind of is exhilarating. The college sports offseason, it's now a 12-month sport legitimately. And we used to say that before, but it really is that now.
Well, because I agree, but let me take it one step further. People love it, at least here in Arkansas, because they're a part of it. They get to be a part, like as Arkansas and Arkansas basketball, they're in it. You know, it's not like in football where you see name after name after name and big time, and it's just like nobody's interested. You're not even on the playing field for everybody else. But in basketball, if there's a name that gets dropped, it's, oh man, you know, it's like, hey, Cal, call him up. Like, it doesn't matter how good he is. Like Cooper Flagg could have entered into the portal, and Razorback fans would have the confidence in what they got going on with Cal, being like, we absolutely have just as good, if not a better chance to getting him than anybody. Like, so that's what makes it at least a little bit more fun, I think, for Razorback fans too. Yes, it comes with frustrations. Yes, it comes with a lot of craziness, but it's just the reason it's frustrating and all of that is because you're in it. You're a part of it. It'd be one thing if, you know, it was, no, I'm not trying to throw shade, but if it was the Mike Anderson days where you were just never in on any of those big time players, it just kind of be like, whatever. But now that you are in on them, you got to mix the good with the bad. You got to take the positives with the negatives and the chaos that is transfer portal season. So
yeah, and you're 100% right. Just given, and everything's amplified too with John Calipari. You know, that's just naturally going to happen. But it's a wave. It really is. And you know, this stuff changes. It'd be easy to say daily, but it's literally like hourly. Yeah. It's one phone call, or, you know, one team comes in with a new offer, or a different guy hits the portal, and it's like, oh damn, priorities change. But you got to ride the wave, and everybody was, you know, on their last breath for a while there. And then Tuesday happened, and all of a sudden you get 2 big men in the same day, and you start to come down off of that high, and then you get the big retention announcement on Thursday, and you're like, dang, all right. And then yesterday was kind of a deflating one. It's like, oh no, to Chad Baker, and oh, PJ Haggerty, no. They're really going to wait this thing out, and they're only going to take, you know, the perfect fit type, what the hell. And then, and like the portal ends today, and we'll have some new names or whatever, and some stuff will come out, and then we'll be back up again. That's just kind of the way that it works. And it's difficult to keep a level head with this thing. You know, like people say, oh, never too high, never too low, just keep an even keel. Yeah, right, man. This stuff is it's too important. You know, it's like, if you really are a fanatic in every sense of the term, you look at it and you're like, that guy is a difference in a national championship night. That guy can get us to the Final Four. And when you have to move off from him, it's like, well, what now? We're screwed. It's over. And the swings of emotion are as drastic as the swings of portal season. It's fascinating to follow. It really is.
The messaging, though, at least from the U of A side on this, is basically they're telling you as much as they possibly can to be like, hey, relax, don't worry, we're fine. We're giving you all these cool announcements. We got the cool big man thing, the retention. The messaging is very much, we really like the team we have right now.
Which is exactly what you want to hear.
That was literally John Calipari's words. There is a team. They like that team. There's always going to be that kind of, could they add someone cool? Like you say, we're always going to be able to let our imagination run free when someone enters. But like, they're telling you to be content kind of with what you have. And I don't think you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, I think Arkansas has built a good roster, but you still have that kind of imagination running wild, which is the perfect spot to be in. If they didn't have that possibility, then we'd be kind of bored. And so I don't think you don't need to be bored, but you do need to be, you know, feeling pretty good.
I know that we have something that we need to get into.
Curtis, you know exactly what we're about to do. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll wrap on this. And you're 100% right, Andrew. Like the everything that they put out there publicly, and then everything that we're being told behind the scenes is very much hey, like we're really happy with what we have. Like we like the mix. Cal loves this roster. They're not saying no, we're done now. We're not going to add anybody else, but they're doing really exactly what he said he was going to do, which is now they're in the position to recruit to fit, to round out the roster. They're not going to take some dude just to take him. They're not going to take somebody who could be a problem in the locker room just for the hell of it, just because he's talented. They're not going to create log jams. If the right fit is there that can make this team better, they're going to make the addition. I think it's really important distinction to make for everybody to understand. And yeah, now I know we got some fun stuff to talk about here.
Wow.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And in fact, we'll use it as part of our What to Watch presented by our friends over at Bryant Technologies, where they are dedicated to delivering that high quality network infrastructure and security camera solutions. And they take pride in their exceptional workmanship as well as commitment to keeping your business operations seamlessly connected and secure. Because let's be honest, you can't have a business if it's not secure. You can't have a business unless it's connected, especially in this day and age in the internet. So you got to be able to check them out today, whether it's structured cabling, security camera installation, digital signage, or even TV mounting. Bryant Technologies has you covered. They service the entire state of Arkansas as well as the Arkansas bordering states. So have them help you out with all of your network and security needs. You can call them today at 870-883-0330, or you can check out their website at bryantstechnologies.com with that S in between, bryantstechnologies.com. It's Bryant Technologies, quality work guaranteed. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this, folks. I guess I'll just sure. Well, a little breaking news here. As Hunter Yurachek has spoken, he has put out a tweet and he has put out a statement, which we will show you right here and read it and discuss it. Hunter Yurachek says, quote, "I have spoken with the leadership team at Arkansas Edge and expressed my support in their pursuit to enforce their rights under any agreement violated by our student athletes moving forward. We appreciate Edge's investment in our student athletes and acknowledge the enforcement of these agreements is vital in our new world of college athletics. We look forward to continued dialogue with all parties in resolving these matters."
My first question is, the leadership team at Arkansas Edge in the room with us now?
You know, it's funny, Curtis. I thought that for a second when I saw that y'all were reacting, because in real time, I saw y'all reacting and didn't know what y'all were talking about, then looked it up and saw the Hunter Yurachek thing. I thought we might be getting that announcement.
Yeah,
we're canceling Arkansas Edge. Now what we got? Interesting.
Yeah. This is you know what? There are a lot of times where Hunter Yurachek does things where we're like, dude, come on, man. Like, read the room, whatever. I love this. I'm so happy that he put this statement out. I think it's awesome.
Nobody, and here's the thing, nobody is going to have an issue with it. And why? No, why would they? Like, this is the easiest layup of an opportunity to like win back public support, because if there's one person that Hog fans hate more than Hunter Yurachek, it's the Ia-Malava family, just because everyone's been dunking on them religiously. And so like Hunter Yurachek is like, you know what? I've spotted a moment here. Everyone is going to be able to side with me on this one. This is an easy layup, and credit to him for taking it. I mean, this is, by the way, like directly related to that, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Has to be.
And that had to have been what John, you might have talked to him. I don't know, but that had to have been what Marcelo's tweet was about last night, right?
What did
Had to
Marcelo
be.
tweet?
Basically about, guys showing up on campus for a couple months, cashing six-figure NIL checks and never playing it down or whatever, and then dipping.
Yep. It has to be connected.
Has to be, right?
Somehow. Yeah. Because again, when this happens in real time, first off, again, shout out to Yurachek, because it seems like you've actually, anytime you communicate anything, it's always a win. But to actually put out the statement, it's just that line there of expressed my support in their pursuit to enforce their rights under any agreement violated by our student athletes moving forward. So
Madden's catching a case,
dude.
Now
this is
it's
just
going to come down to what that paperwork said. Did it say he has to play in a football game? Did it say he has to be enrolled on campus for 2 semesters? Like, what? Now, who knows? But it sounds like the Arkansas Edge is going to be set up okay, though.
Yeah.
In this battle, I should say.
Yeah.
Not big picture about the entire organization, which we didn't even know still existed. I meant in this particular battle, to be clear.
Yeah. Well, I'm rubbing my hands together like, ooh, baby. Like, could this get spicy? Could this get insane right here? Could we start having some crazy, I thought, guys, because we were going to bring up the Madden Ia-Malava situation. I got the pronunciation key. We were going to bring it up a little bit because I know we talked a lot about it yesterday when we went live discussing it. But now with that statement right there, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the good stuff. I think some other things are going to start transpiring and start happening. So it doesn't sound like it's over yet. I'll be curious to see what it is, because Yurachek's not putting out this statement and then it's like, oh, well, all's well is well, then moving on. Nothing's going to be coming from it. And we're going hush hush on this. Nah, he's putting out this statement for a reason, because something's about, more stuff is about to come out. And I'm going to have to text Marcel, be like, hey, man, you didn't find out anything. We just need you to come on here and talk about it. But man, that's going to be wild, though, to see what all transpires and happens. But good on them. Good on them for saying, hey, if there's something legitimate that was violated, go get yours. Because I don't know how much the Madden made, but like we talked about yesterday on the live stream, he didn't come for nothing. He wasn't like he was here for
the midnight hour for the hell of it.
Yeah, to go all the way to Fayetteville, Arkansas from California for nothing. But I just, again, wild assumption here, reckless assumption. Yurachek doing this, all of that to me tells me it was a significant amount. Like you're not doing all this stuff over $10,000 or $20,000. It's a significant amount, enough to where you're putting out a statement, you're doing some stuff, you're putting some things out there for people to know and understand and be aware of. So I'll be curious if it comes out of how much they actually were funding to him via the Arkansas Edge.
Dude, they're pulling pennies out from under the couch cushions right now. They can't afford to be paying some dude thousands of dollars to come hang out and throw some footballs at the receivers during spring ball and then dip out. I don't blame him.
Do it.
Yeah, and it is also interesting that he went right back to the team that he was committed to and about to sign with before. Like, I wonder any of the, and look, I don't know what the agreement looked like that they had, but I'm just wondering how much real details were there. Because, I mean, the fact that he was only at Arkansas for a few months and went right back to the team that he was signed to, like, that's is there a chance that the Ia-Malavas maybe just played Arkansas from the jump?
Got duped.
That is possible. Which, by the way, the Ia-Malavas, I mean, at this point in the span of like 3 weeks, all-time bag chasing that we've ever seen in college sports. Like Cam Newton's father and all that was over like $500,000 for one Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. These are two quarterbacks that have like a combined 32 touchdowns in their career. That are like in these huge bag chasing scandals. It's actually kind of respectable. I gotta tip my hat.
That are now less well off financially than they were at their previous spots. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's gonna wind up being the case. You compare the two bags there.
I wonder how much Madden, by the way, was involved in the conversation when Nico was committing. Like, is Nico's deal? Is it a package deal? Like, so it's fascinating how many different agreements we can be talking about with a kid that has not played a snap of college football yet.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I think it is. I can't wait for this. I really can't wait to see how everything like plays out, because it's going to be something that's going to be really intense. And maybe I'm just trying to manifest this, and maybe it's not actually as intense as I want it to be, but I still can't wait to see what transpires. And, is it something that publicly, because again, we talked about spring football not really having a whole lot of spice and energy. Well, this might be something that brings a little bit of it too, all the good stuff. This was all a ploy. It was all part of the plan. And I'm all for the conspiracies, guys. I'm going all in on them. They had this plan from the jump. That's why they went to Arkansas, because they're like, hey, these guys, we can take advantage of them because they're in a bad situation and we'll try to give them a splash. And they do it. And then, it's going through it all. And they're like, hey, just hold out. Like, wait till Nico's situation happens. And then, he's going to Tennessee. And then suddenly he's like, now on Tuesday, you got to do this, man. You got to go and do it and got to take care of business. I'm here for the conspiracies. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping this thing goes deep. I'm hoping, no pun intended, but I'm hoping it happens.
Were y'all aware before all this about how much of a unit their father is?
I've seen pictures of him, but yeah, he's a large man.
He's a large dude. I did not. I mean, like, and they're not small guys, but like they're like tall, skinny. He looks different than them. Like he looks like a bouncer.
Yeah. It's probably someone that, we know he DMs people and calls them names. Probably also the type of person that'll maybe do it in person too. He looks pretty intimidating. So Man, this is crazy. But again, I have the Yurachek. I'm sure that's what you had too, Curtis. Like the Yurachek Twitter notifications turned on. Yeah. Anytime I see something from Hunter, I'm like, ooh.
I kept seeing y'all's faces reacting while I don't even remember what I was yapping about, but I was like, I to the point where I was like, I must be saying something like out of pocket, like the way that they're reacting.
Yeah. Just talking about transfer portal for basketball. You're out of your mind, man. Yeah. We'll keep everybody updated on this and see things transpires. But it's already caught wind from a lot of the national college pundits and talking about it. So it's not done yet. Cool. And I'm hoping that, I don't know, I guess the guys are active on social media, but I hope the family or somebody reacts and quote tweets it. Ooh, come on, man.
Yeah.
I want this.
It's going to be fascinating. Also, like, I know that like Dion and his son and their whole team has become such a huge story in college football. And I don't think UCLA is going to be as good as Colorado. Most likely. I haven't looked at their roster. I don't know what they have going on, but I wonder if like they're going to kind of become like huge polarizing figures if they end up being the quarterbacks at UCLA for the next like 4 years. It's going to be kind of fun to watch people like rally against them, and then if they're winning, people will start being like, oh wow, actually these guys are cool all along. They could be like the next great villains in college football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be the
Which
ones
I'd honestly like. I really, and I said it kind of jokingly earlier, would be actually kind of cool and like good for college football in a weird roundabout way. And we talked at the time about how we thought it was good for college football that Josh Heupel put his foot down and like didn't cave to Nico Ia-Malava. This really might play out in a weird roundabout way where it's like they're weirdly accidentally a turning point in college sports history where like there was some type of balance that we started to find, and it happened because of the Ia-Malavas.
Yep.
Dude, I love this, man.
Dude,
I absolutely love it.
I was gonna read this because Ross Dellinger, I was waiting for his tweet.
Just about to bring it up, yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for his tweet because he's always on top of this stuff when it comes to NIL and everything. And he quote tweeted Hunter Yurachek's tweet and said, many athlete contracts with school-affiliated NIL collectives do feature buyout language, though often privately done. Some of those buyouts have not been enforced. Most have not. Arkansas announces its support to enforce buyouts. A day after Madden entered into the portal, he goes on to say, during this transition period of compensation, NIL collectives to school rev share, many schools have included buyouts in rev share contracts, or at the very least, buyouts are included in the collective deals that assign to the school on July 1st, contingent on settlement approval. So, yeah, it's basically like what I get from that, and the vibe I get from that is simply, most of the time we've just done it and it either gotten away with it, we didn't fight it, or we did it privately. But since rev share is going to be on the horizon anyway, it's like, we're not just laying down and dying. No, you owe us. Like we could have used this money. Like this is probably why Chad Baker-Mazara couldn't come to Arkansas now.
I was just about to say this is our second buyout related transfer situation in the last 48 hours.
Man, yeah, that's great.
And we're just not going to hear from Pittman until SEC Media Day or something at this point. It's like I would love it, because there are times where he's good about just kind of skirting around issues, and there are times where he'll just flat out talk about it. Like when like right after the portal opened up, remember he was talking about the money and the situations they were in and the bargaining negotiations and all that, and I was like, damn, he's really laying it out there. Maybe this would have been one of those times where he'd have been like, look, this is BS, man.
Yep. Maybe so.
It's too damn bad that we're not going to get him.
Man, it's a bummer. I will say, I know we'll have some other things to get to. We'll get to your chat as well, but let's go ahead. I'm going to write this down because it's going to be set in stone, because I feel like it's going to come out. If you guys were just a ballpark guess, how much NIL money was given to Madden from the University of Arkansas? Just a roundabout way. How much would you guess? Just, you're going to throw it out there.
Low six figures.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And I bet the overall deal was worth more than that. You know what I mean? Because I mean, he was a big signing day flip. Like it was a big deal, and like we all assumed in the moment, like, hey, they probably dropped a bag.
Don't you think that they probably? I mean, they have to pay it out proportionately speaking. Like more comes to you during the season and everything, and maybe a little bit up front, almost like a signing bonus type of deal or something.
That's kind of what I was thinking. The total deal was probably worth in the high six figures, honestly. Hell, they might have given it, you know what I mean? Like we hear all kind of stuff, but I bet they paid out at least a few 100,000. I bet there was, like you said, some type of signing bonus, and then whatever his monthly is for the 2 months he was on campus. And yeah, so I bet that's why because the U of A, if they hadn't paid him most of that deal, they probably wouldn't be too upset. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, go ahead. We're just terminate right there." The fact that they're fighting it makes me think that they coughed up something on the front end.
Amount of money. Yeah.
That's the whole point that I was going to make with asking that is because you could sit here and say, well, that's bad on Arkansas for negotiating or giving him a lot. I don't know if they gave him all of it up front or, like you guys said, just a significant amount. But either way, it's like he got a ton and he spent how many weeks was he in Fayetteville, guys? Like 5, 6, maybe
2 months. Like mid-January probably is when he arrived.
Yeah, so
we'll
call it 10 weeks just to play it safe. We'll call it 10 weeks. I mean, for that, and say if he got $100,000 signing bonus, hey, that's a good day's work right there. I mean, shoot, that's
before you even officially graduated high school.
Yeah, that's $10,000 a week for playing third string and just hanging out. So, but yeah, there's a lot of curiosities that's going to be coming from this. Be curious if Tennessee does anything towards Nico. Does something like that happen? Was it something similar? What all goes down there? And also, too, to the point of the negotiation, and if they did pay him up front a lot of money, it's about that where, I'm sure you're like, well, they shouldn't have done it anyways. Well, if they really felt good about him and they really wanted him, it could have been one of those things where he's like, I want $250,000. Well, I want up front. And they're like, well, we're not going to do that. We could do it like, first in this semester, spring semester, and then fall semester, we do it. But here we'll pay you half up front and then deal. And then it's like, peace. Now it's like, he got another deal with UCLA, which is even more money. So, I'm hoping this is a very big, deep, this conspiracy theory that we can really have some fun with. It's going to be great either way. Wow.
I mean, there's somebody's out there right now, Nakos or Dellinger, somebody is behind the scenes talking to sources at the U of A and, everybody else and trying to get the real story here. There will be a story that comes from this by the end of the day. And I can't wait to read it.
And you know what else?
It's electric, man.
Yeah. And you know what else I love? Because I know we move on and everything, but you know what else I love is that it's so Arkansas to have some big story like this that's going to go on and going to be a part of it for a player that didn't even play here, didn't play a snap. Like that is the most Arkansas thing ever. At least at Tennessee, Nico played. Like at Arkansas, they're going to go through this long rigmarole over a player that literally didn't even play a single snap. Like that to me is just icing on the cake. So
good on them, at least for at this point being able to avoid what probably would have been consistent nonsense the entire time that he was here.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, just imagine, the first game where Taylor goes 9 of 22 and throws a pick and takes a sack, and then it would have just been a freaking mess, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
absolutely.
We were pulling our hair out over Malachi Singleton arguments back in October, bro. Like, think about how bad it would have been with the family putting pressure on them, all the money that would be attached to them. It would have been a very, especially with Bobby already planting the seeds in the spring, which is also why this is intriguing, because like Bobby planted those seeds because the kid's good at football. Right. And so like, that's what's funny at the end of all this is like, we don't really know how that's going to play out, but I think Arkansas in this story had a good role though. Like nationally, I think Arkansas comes across as like a sympathetic, like, oh, you know what? Good on Arkansas for just being like, yeah, well, getting their money, getting what they're worth, but stepping out of it.
Yeah. And hopefully they publicly get their money back. I mean, that would be hilarious if it worked out that way.
Hopefully the nation rallies behind them.
Yep. And then suddenly all the other schools will be like, those are our leaders, our beacon of hope, the University of Arkansas, when it comes to NIL. They were the ones they were the example that was set that we can do it too. We can pursue legal action. Like it's like,
as we've always said, Hunter Yurachek is the guy you can cheer for, is a hero.
Yep. A hero among college athletics. So we'll get to your chats, folks, but I feel like this is a perfect segue into our Alumni Hall question of the day. Presented by Alumni Hall, get some of the greatest Razorback gear you could possibly have when it comes to all things basketball, football, baseball. You're not going to have to worry about a Madden Ia-Malava jersey that's going to be there because they're going to have other people instead, people that are true Hogs. Like Taylon Green. I hear rumors starting up that there may be having some Taylon Green jerseys there available in the fall. But they got everything. They got polo shirts. They got everything for the men, women, and kids. So check them out by going to InsideArkansas.com/Alumni Hall and use that promo code HOGS20 for 20% off your purchase. You can also shop them in store at 3417 North College Avenue. It's Alumni Hall, the ultimate Razorback shopping experience. So again, perfectly set to get the Razorback fans vibe of this. How do you feel about Madden Ia-Malava's leaving for Arkansas to UCLA? Just how do you feel about it? And the choices were disappointed but not surprised, upset at the no commitment, indifferent, it's whatever, or glad because you got to it before it caused issues. And we have a dead heat, guys, a legit tie with the decibels and everything. 39.9%. Both say indifferent, it's whatever, or glad before it causes issues. And so roughly 80% of you are kind of like happy or don't care, moving on, which is the right answer in my opinion.
I think I've transitioned from completely not caring when we talked about this yesterday to being glad now today. The more I've thought about it, the more it's played out. I think that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think I might have even fallen into the disappointed category at one point, but I definitely wouldn't go that far. I don't know if indifferent is the right term, because like I do care about the situation, but I definitely am not going to lose much sleep over it in terms of like what this is going to mean for Arkansas moving forward. And I think that in the end, we will look back and we will be, like you said, happy that we weren't on it didn't play out worse. It could have played out worse. The fact that it all played out before he even, had his first fall, it probably is the best.
I want to throw some at y'all, and maybe I got a few names, and maybe hopefully this question makes sense. But this might go down potentially as one of the most memorable names of a player here at Arkansas that actually never played at Arkansas. I'm throwing in a Dorial Green Beckham. Everyone remembers Dorial Green Beckham and that story, but he never played at Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this could end up being one of those deals to where people, depending on how it goes and what it means, maybe it sets precedent, but 5 years from now, we're going to be like, man, you remember that Madden situation, how crazy that was? I'm wondering if that's the case.
Also my prediction. There will be probably a handful of days over the next few years where Madden plays well and we're like, oh man, that kind of would have been fun. But I don't think I think he's a good football player, but I don't think he's going to set the world on fire and be a Heisman icon to where we're really dang, you know what I mean? I feel like he'll probably be good and have some good moments, but ultimately we'll be it probably played out the way it needed to.
And KJ Jackson's going to win a Heisman anyway. So
yeah, true. Yeah.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Cause that's going to be the thing where everyone loves the backup quarterback as it is, but people are really going to love KJ Jackson because this whole thing be like, sir, you stood with us. You were all hog. You could have left, but you didn't. So
you're 100% right.
Yeah. He's going to be, in fact, forget Taylon Green, start selling his jersey at Alumni Hall. The people will buy it because of him sticking it out and everything. So, but let's hope that Taylon Green stays healthy and everything. But given circumstances, odds are you're going to have a backup quarterback in. And I do like KJ Jackson. I know we all do. In fact, what was it last spring when we got to see a little bit of him in those spring practices we actually got to watch. But I remember all of us were like, man, this guy's got, you can tell he's a freshman, but it's he's got some tools to him, man. He could really, the size of him, the look of him. I think his parents sitting in front of us at times for the scrimmage and they were getting fired up. So
parents are very hard on him. They expect good things out of him. But no, I think Bobby likes him a little bit too. But no, I think all the quarterbacks honestly are going to have that kind of feel. People were talking about the Grayson kid from Conway. He's only been in Arkansas for a few weeks. He's already kind of become a heroic figure just because he's from Arkansas and he stuck through, even though it was one spring practice.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's good stuff. But, yeah, we'll get to your chats, folks. The last thing I'll say about it too is that, we talk about Pittman and, not get to hear from him. And I know this person we will not hear from, but man, I wonder how many expletives Bobby Petrino dropped when all this was going down. I wonder what names he used or calling that he did. Or was it one of those things of just oh, thank God. We don't have to deal with this guy anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question based, how does he really feel about it? Because this was the one that he got full credit for. He went out and picked Taylon. All that's true, but just the way that that whole story was told about, we weren't really looking to try to take another quarterback. And then I had hip surgery. I woke up and Bobby said, "Hey, let's take this guy. Trust me, bro." And then here we are. But
well,
stuff happens, man.
Hey, if I'll do this. If Bobby Petrino, if we do get a chance to ever hear from him, if he gets asked about it, I know exactly what he's going to say because I know Bobby Petrino. He's just going to be like, "We're really happy with the quarterbacks we have on the team right now. We're really happy with them. We're really happy with KJ. I'm just focused on the quarterbacks on the team right now." That's exactly what he's going to say, and that's the right answer.
Yeah, I would say it is the right answer. I also like, and when we've kind of said this, we unironically do really like KJ Jackson, and like I think that like, and he was the guy that was going to be the number 2 quarterback no matter what. It would have been funny this fall if Talon would have sucked and people would have been like, "Oh, go to Madden," and we would have had to remind people, "Hey, actually, KJ Jackson's the backup quarterback." So I kind of like was, and even more, I hope that Bobby and the staff feel that way. Where like now they're like, you know what? Let's embrace this guy. We feel good about him as number 2. Matter of fact, Singleton sucked. We like this kid. I hope that's the way they view it.
Yeah, that's the hope at least. But all right, I know you guys are just being itching out there to get to the chat and be talking about what you guys are saying in there. So let's go ahead and do a little vibe check presented by our friends over at Basis Health, where they're changing the way healthcare is delivered by providing mobile medical visits to the very comfort of your own home. You don't want to have to wait. You don't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. You just want to be taken care of. You want to be able to have your urgent care, your primary care, IV hydration, all those things done from the comfort of your own home. That's what Basis Health does for you. They're here where and when you need them the most. You can learn more at basishealth.org today. Shout out to our guy Dre for the partnership. And in fact, that's where we'll start because, he does a super chat. So we got to go to him first, of course. But appreciate it, guy. He says they asked for money for the slobber hog that was already in the works. The Edge needs the money.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. They ain't letting anybody rob them. No pickpocketing and heading off to the West Coast, man. We're not doing that around here.
Nope, not at all. I wanted to say, wasn't there another player that, and I could be just making this up, a player that played football for Arkansas, but then transferred out to California? Like somebody that maybe didn't play, and maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I'm thinking of Ricky Town coming from USC to Arkansas. Maybe that's one. I'm stupid. Mitch Mustaine. Ever heard of him? Yeah, that's he went to USC. So
is Nico Davier? Is he at UCLA now, or am I tripping?
I think he is.
I think he is. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. How
was
about
he a part of it? Was he a part of it? Was he part of it?
I tell you who else is there. Jaden Wilson.
Ooh.
Yeah. There was.
Am I remembering that right?
No, you are remembering that right.
Okay. Yeah, there he is. Okay.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, so Arkansas, UCLA have been banded together in a weird way.
Yeah, this is absurd.
Oh man, now I really am here for the conspiracies. Like that Nico Davier was involved in the negotiations.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write a book.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, man. I was trying to find the tweet. Somebody had it and it was brilliant. I wanted to say it was Marcelo, but somebody said like the most. This was yesterday before it all went down, but it was like the most thing would be like Arkansas facing UCLA in a bowl game, or maybe it was Tennessee versus UCLA in a bowl game next year after those respective quarterbacks that they flip-flopped ended up facing each other, but then both of them opt out for the NFL draft and they don't even play in the bowl game. Like that's what's going to happen. I'm like, yep, that's exactly. So everyone's going to be pumped up like, oh, look at this. And then it's not going to matter because they won't play. So let's see. All right. A few of your chats again. Appreciate you, everybody tuning in. Be sure to like the stream. I saw our producer, Michelle, always reminding you, friendly reminder to like the stream. But let's see. David says, step 1, find a school that you want to go to. Step 2, commit to the school with the biggest, highest NIL. Step 3, cash check and immediately transfer to school you want to go to instead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well. Transplanted Texas says, where is...
You're going to pay for it now, but that was the move to make beforehand. Somebody just had to try Hunter Yurachek and they're going to pay for it.
Yep. Don't mess with Yuri. Yeah. Transplanted Texas says, where is Remy? As in Cofield, the GM.
Okay, what's Remy supposed to be doing right now? Like, seriously. Because like we've kind of talked about this, but like, is Remy supposed to be like where was he supposed to fight to keep Madden? Is that what you're insinuating? Or like, what was Remy supposed to be doing right now?
I'll tell you what Remy was doing. Remy was getting them new transfers on defense to sign on the dotted line. You ain't worry about these dudes leaving.
He's hosting 4 visitors. That's what Remy was doing.
Yeah. Because and if correct me if I'm wrong, Remy was not hired in the time when Madden committed, right? So yeah,
he was after.
Yeah, so he probably had little to nothing to deal with that. But
yeah, we'll probably never hear from Remy unless he's forced to speak at some kind of function, you know.
Which
he hides in the shadows.
Yeah.
He's a watchful protector,
yeah,
a
That's
silent
right.
guardian. You know, like he's
he's gonna be. I wish I could remember his name, but if you guys ever saw that Pony Express 30 for 30, they mentioned this guy at SMU that was like the big donor that was funding it all, but he like didn't agree to do any interviews. He never talked to anybody, but everyone just knew he was there and he was making the money. Like that's what Remy's gonna be.
We were talking Arkansas football, and all I heard was Polar Express. I just
Oh, come on.
goodness gracious.
Come on. That's
I
a
was
good
thinking of the
movie.
Express with Ernie Davis. Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's better. They should have played that in the locker room instead of Polar Express.
Yeah. Thinking
No,
of Panda
seriously
Express.
about Remy. I'm excited for people to see Remy out and about, like because nobody's seen him yet, right?
Yeah. This is an interesting. Let's talk about this for a second. Michael Carter, he says Remy should be the face to talk about this issue and not Pittman. These are contract issues, which, and you know, to Michael's point there, I mean, that's exactly what Sam Pittman has said. You know, like I would love to hear his thoughts on it. And his whole thing has been like, I don't want to deal with this shit. You know, if it's money related, NIL, I don't have time for. I got ball to coach and cold beer to drink, man. I don't have time for this. So, you know,
I think Remy is involved in this, but not like
he's not going to talk to the public. Yeah.
Right. And by the way, Pittman is not the one talking about this publicly either. Yurachek's the one that put out the statement. Right. Yeah, Hunter supersedes all of them. And so, yeah, and like Pittman will probably be asked about it at his next press conference, but what he'll say is Remy handles that. That's Remy. I ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying they should do it or would do it, but I would like to see, maybe if they want to have some, money made on YouTube, he just puts out like an hour video, just him updates once a year, like a State of the Union type thing. I'd watch it. I'd watch it entire. I think everybody would. So yeah, there you go. You can add that to the NIL from the YouTube monetization. Just put out
Hogs Plus is on it.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure it'll be very unfiltered and uncensored and everything. Let's see. Jeff says, any news on that wide receiver that was coming from the same school of Madden's? I mean, no news.
I haven't heard anything.
It is interesting because it just based on the numbers alone, I know they had one receiver hit the portal already, but it almost feels like they might need to shed a little bit of weight there with a couple more. I'm not saying that guy would qualify. I don't even remember his name. I'm just being honest. But that would be kind of, well, I don't know if it'd be funny, but it'd be interesting.
I definitely don't think it would be. He wasn't one of the guys that was in the top 3 or 4 groups that were being mentioned.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was. Well, because I think it's more of a fan. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Brown. I think Pooh Bear
Chase
has
Brown. Yeah. I just don't think that there's any sort of thing where it's like, oh, because they went to the same school, that there's, that there's any sort of issues there. Like I have to go back to the Springdale 5. People forget Ben Cleveland stayed at Arkansas his entire career. It was like, oh, Mitch Mustaine and all this stuff.
This guy really did come with Madden, like on signing day. But I don't know.
I don't even see him on the roster.
So maybe he did just silently. Nobody's
He's
reporting.
A receiver, right?
Yeah.
I thought I looked at him yesterday, or maybe he was on the. I looked at him when he was 24/7 Sports or on 3 or whatever it was. But maybe that's
the U of A.
Some more drama.
So if he's not on the roster, then there's definitely a good chance that he snuck up out of there and nobody's said anything about it because nobody noticed.
I see a CJ Brown. I see an Elijah Brown. They are from Bentonville and El Dorado, respectively. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Keep update on that.
He hasn't enrolled yet. So if he's a late enrollee, that dude ain't showing up.
Damn sure ain't gonna enroll.
That dude ain't. If that's true, that dude ain't showing up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in LA, just hanging out, waiting for those guys to come into town.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Sorry, Chief.
Yeah. Gage says, I'm guessing he pocketed $200,000 just for hanging out at the Marshall Apartments. I don't know if that's where he stayed, but yeah, probably so. I mean,
interesting.
Listen, he got that money. I don't know if Arkansas is going to get that money back, but I will say it kind of, remember when Arkansas, or I should say maybe it was Brett Bielema was like suing Arkansas or getting in a lawsuit because they weren't paying him what he felt like he was owed, and then they settled. Maybe that ends up being something there too, where they end up settling for something. Could happen.
You know why all this is happening, by the way? You know who was at one point committed to UCLA and then ended up signing with Arkansas? Gabe Gackle. They saw his performance on Friday, and they were like, you know what? We got to get these guys back.
Yep. You got to kind of get those kids that, because, same thing with the Nico Davier and everything. They're like, we want those Arkansas kids, apparently, going to UCLA. So I don't even know who's the coach at UCLA. I should know this.
Not Chip Kelly anymore.
No, that's like the last coach I remember being there at UCLA was Chip Kelly. But I know it's they're never going to be USC, but they're still in Los Angeles.
Great uniforms, though.
Yeah, great uniforms, great colors. It's Deshaun Foster. So there you go. Let's see a few other chats here too, because I know there's some basketball talk too that we'll dive into. But different Parker says all it took was for Madden to leave to say his name right. For John,
I know, I was saying about that. Right. Literally the last show we will probably ever mention Madden Ia-Malava, and this is the show you decided to get his name right.
Yeah. Well, before we did the live stream yesterday, I asked Curtis, I'm like, tell me how to say it, and I wrote it down. So that's why I just read it. And it's like, it. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, how can you be more official than that? Sitting there right there. So, let's see. Garrett says, it's funny how we were a little disappointed in coaches not naming standouts during spring ball because they were afraid of tampering, but the one guy about the coaching staff that spoke on did get tampered with. That is a good point. As we played yesterday, Pittman raved about him. Petrino raved about him. Now they probably feel a little bit differently about it too.
Thank God Mike Washington is not getting tampered with.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what we would do.
Portal's still open, boys.
That's right. Oh gosh. Now, wouldn't that be some other crazy stuff too? What if they enforced him to come back to Arkansas? It's like, no, you have to play a fall. You have to come back. You have to be a quarterback. He did officially enter into the portal today.
See, that would be funny. Actually, it's like you can't get your money back. We can't get involved with these financial transactions, but yeah, we're not going to let you leave, man.
Nope. Like you're going to have to stay enrolled in your music lecture class, and you're going to have to go to that. Like you have to
That's
be
like when they put in the office when they put that person they hired for Michael's birthday party. They put her in front of the phones. They were like, "We hired you for this many hours. Like you were going to get our hours."
Yep, we're going to get our money's worth. I don't know what he would do, but yeah, that would be pretty awesome if that happened. Zane says, happiest guy about this is right now is Chuck Barrett. He doesn't have to remember how to say his name on the broadcast anymore. Yeah, that'd be tough. Or John George on the PA. I mean, good grief.
Yeah,
it's hard enough as it is saying on the radio. But anyways, Finch says, I've gotten an update for the Inside Arkansas guys. I arrived home from work yesterday and had 5 kids playing in yard ball with the new bat and ball I got from Alumni Hall. Excellent.
I like
Finch.
that a lot.
That's
great.
Yeah,
that bat ball go triple platinum in the yard for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's one of those Yankee bats, that they got the Vortex bats.
Torpedoes. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just out there just smoking it too. And speaking of that real quick, I wanted to bring this up. Andrew, I know you probably remember the guy, Chris from Iowa that we met at the game. He was a guy that just, I don't want to give too much of a story, but essentially his daughter goes to school at the U of A. He had no connections to Arkansas, but he started adopting the sports teams and started adopting baseball. And he was a really nice guy, but he said that he tweeted at me today. He's like, I enjoyed meeting you guys at the baseball games on Friday. Thanks for the tip on Alumni Hall. Dropped some money there Saturday. So
I like that a lot. Yeah, because he thought your DJ Wagner jersey was cool. Shout out to, I know it got mixed reviews at the park and in life. A lot of people were saying you looked weird. Some people liked the jersey though. He was one that did like it.
Yes. Yeah. He was the one fan of it too. Yeah. Which I guess I didn't realize it was going to be so controversial, to be honest, of just wearing. I thought if you just wear Razorback apparel, it doesn't matter the sport. I mean,
the sun wasn't really out. And so it was kind of weird to have the guns out with the sun because it was pretty cloudy that day.
Well, and also in my defense, I came straight from Alumni Hall. Like it wasn't like I was like, all right, I'm changing into this and this is what I'm going to wear because, I want to be with this guy. But it was just.
You did have the lay too. The lay was good.
Yeah. had to show support. Had to show support.
Did y'all just hear that crash in the background of my? It didn't come through. Okay, good. No.
Someone got in a car wreck or what?
Everyone okay?
My wife either just threw something, broke something, or fell off of something.
Do we need to take a pause break and you go check in on the Wi-Fi?
I hear her laughing, so I think we're good. It startled me though. I don't know what just happened. I hope she didn't break something that was cool of mine.
Well, she better let us know in the chat of what happened, so that way we know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of, Kevin says, did y'all already talk about Wagner coming back?
Oh,
we did actually.
Lots.
Yeah. We talked a lot about that when it happened. Probably, Kevin might have seen the tweet the U of A put out today. But what they're doing is just going through every one of the newcomers and the guys who are signed or running it back or whatever. Seems like every day they're putting some stuff out on a different player, which is cool. Good to see. Yeah. But yeah, old DJ's running it back, man.
Post-game autopsies for players. I like it. Honestly, I hate to sound pompous here, but if something happened in Razorback athletics and it's multiple days after the fact, not to say it's old news, but it's we've covered it. Yeah, we did a stream. I guess it would have been 4 or 5 days ago at this point, where we kind of reacted in real time to everyone coming back. So that was definitely cool.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing was that picture is just this is home for DJ Wagner.
I like that.
Once you spend 2 years at a place, now you're officially he's Arkansas now.
Yep, he's all Hog. He's embraced the Hog, and I can't wait to see him. It's just funny because I'm sure there's reasons why, but there are people and I'm not calling him out, the person in the chat, but it's there are people that are busy in life and they just see that poster oh wow, DJ's coming back. I was probably the first they heard of it, just because that's the way the world works. So
isn't it cool whenever a player plays for your team to just not hate them and not be mean to them, and then they stay and it's cool and you can have a good relationship with them? Does anybody else like that?
I do.
Kentucky fans, they just refuse to do that, and hell, some Arkansas fans refuse to do that.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they don't know why they refuse to do it, but it is kind of funny though that all the Razorback fans, by and large, are rejoicing and happy that DJ Wagner's coming back. But yet at Kentucky, man, they hated him more than Calipari. It felt like just of everything. So let's see a few more chats here because I know we'll have some other things to get to here today. Samuel says, if the NCAA does approve a fifth year, which fifth year guys would you like, Curtis? That kid from Clemson, Ian Shefflin?
I'll see you on the pod in the morning, bro.
Well, there you go.
I mean, at this point, I got to have things to talk about that are different.
I will ask, is he the one that does not look like a basketball player at all?
He is. We saw him in person when McNeese was putting him out.
That's right.
Huge white boy with curly hair. He would be on that list for sure. He's really good. Longino from Villanova just entered. He'd be a good one. Man, there's a lot of dudes, honestly, who would kind of qualify there. Zeke Mayo from Kansas is doing that thing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I'm going to go through an entire list, I think, after the portal wraps up tonight, but those were three right off the top. And there's more that I'm not thinking of right now, but if that does get passed, it's going to be portal season reopening all over. I mean, it would be crazy.
No, it'll be fun. I saw somebody just in the comments say Jonas Adu. No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah, in fact, Big Red was saying Jonas should enter just in case the rule passes. It's still
he should. But I think because him and Nelly both played in that Portsmouth Invitational, the pit thing, and I'm pretty sure if you do that, you're out that kills your eligibility. And there might have been somebody, I gotta try to remember. I think there was somebody who played in that or something like that, and then wound up coming back to school, and he wound up having to serve a suspension for it at the beginning of the year. So maybe it's something like that. But I don't anticipate Jonas or Nelly playing college basketball next season, even if that fifth year thing got approved.
At least it was worth it for Nelly. He cooked.
Yeah,
he did, man. Yeah, he looked good.
He did. A few more here too. Let's see. Douglas says we need one more transfer. We are 0.05 behind Kentucky in the overall recruiting rankings. Houston is 1, Kentucky 2, and us is 3.
Gotta win that off season, man.
Have to.
Gotta just bring someone in because anybody you bring in will get you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, he tweeted at me the image of showing that it literally is 0.05 is Arkansas's behind. So yeah, we can't have that because we know that Kentucky. They got it going on over there, man. This is the best roster, national championship caliber roster, I hear. So,
hey, Mutz really would go get the worst transfer he possibly could just to get over that threshold.
Just to have it and then put a graphic on it. Just ooh, number 2, number 1 in the SEC, whatever it takes. Let's see. Sharkets also says, Andrew, that black hat is fire.
I want to give a shout. I don't want to get our guy in trouble. I'm gonna go. Hopefully nobody's watching. But shout out to our guy Christian who hooked me up with this hat. I honestly just texted him shot in the dark when I saw they were doing it, and I was like, might not be able to get there in time to be one of the first 1,000. He was like, I got you. And so I appreciate Christian who my plug at the University of Arkansas, the one guy at the U of A that still loves me.
Yep, just the one guy. Sweet Arkansas gal says, are you going to have an NBA draft party? I wouldn't think, but then again, I could be convinced.
Who knows?
No, probably not.
Draft party.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. I felt like if it was like the year when...
I mean, they'll probably have 2 guys drafted, but...
Yeah.
Luckily they do the whole draft in one night, which is nice. Like, but it's like if it were like just the first round, it's like, that'd be tough.
Yeah. If Arkansas was going to have like 3 bona fide first round picks, then I think absolutely. But
because you might have like a late first, early second, or something like that. And
next year when you got Carter going first round,
number 1 overall.
Yeah. You've got TB going like 26.
Mm-hmm. All that. Yeah. The 2 freshmen going
A-Cup going 17. That'll probably be worth it.
Yeah. And also, finally, before we move on to other things, Heartbroken Hog says, Ellis, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I actually fully agree with that. 2 years and you're a lifelong hog unless you transfer.
I mean, listen, anytime you make a decision to be a hog, and DJ made the decision last year to be a hog, or he got paid to make the decision, whichever one you guys want to go with, and then he made the decision to be a hog again. And so that's twice a hog. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're a hog.
Yeah. Yep. Full snout. He's in.
Yeah. And here's also the thing I'll throw in. Just because you're there for 4 years doesn't mean that you're always going to be a hog. Because mentioned like KJ Jefferson, for instance, was at Arkansas for 4 years. But he did transfer. But there's some people I'm just gonna be honest.
KJ's not a hog. What the hell?
I know. Just stop traffic.
KJ's not a hog.
He's not a hog, man. Not a hog.
Wait a minute. Curtis, are you hearing this right now?
I am.
Do you co-sign KJ Jefferson not being a hog? What?
I cannot co-sign that. No,
John,
I can't. I don't think I can co-sign that. But I'm willing to hear it out.
I'm just saying. I feel like if you're at Arkansas and if you don't finish your career at Arkansas, it's hard for me to say you're a hog.
I think to me, I'm okay with it. One thing to consider: did they want you back or not? Is one thing. 2, was there a coaching change? And then 3, where did you go? UCF, I don't care. If he went somewhere in the SEC, like when who was it, Auburn, who was trying to poach him the year before or whatever, if he dipped and went there, no, hell no. No longer a hog. So it's a little bit, it's circumstantial to me. In KJ's case, I still embrace him as a hog.
I 1000% fully embrace KJ as a hog. And dude, he got a degree. And I think that really does matter. Like, I'm not, we can split hairs over some things, but like, he did come to Arkansas, spent 5 years at Arkansas, played for 2 different coaches, I think a few different OCs, and there was an OC change. I don't know how, and he's the leading passer, leading everything in school history. I don't know how KJ's not a hog. What do we mean he's not a hog?
He's the hog.
I'll give him honorable mention as a hog. An honorable mention. That's as far as I'm going to go.
Wow.
He's like the 3rd best quarterback in school history,
which is more of an indictment on Arkansas than it is on and like a compliment to him, the quarterbacks that they've had through this place. I mean, before Ryan Mallett, rest in peace. As far as quarterbacks go, I mean, your number one guy was like
champion.
Yeah,
Liberty Bowl champion and Outback Bowl champion. One of the last Outback Bowl champions we've ever seen in college sports.
Great.
It's somewhat controversial in the chat too.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe this. I thought this was a full KJ was
I think it's more hog than non-hog, but there's John's not alone on this island. I'm just gonna say.
Dre paid for this to say not a hog, so I win. That's worth like 80 votes. So
I see Devo's name being floated around. By the way, Devo is 1 billion% a hog.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. I'll give him that. I'll give Devo that.
Is anyone going to ever remember that he, quote unquote, played a season at Oklahoma State just now?
No.
Yeah, no, nobody will remember that. That'll be merely a footnote. I see a chatter here. Kanon says KJ's come back to Fayetteville since then, which I also think matters. By the way, like it's not a huge deal, but like I think he I think KJ views Arkansas as he remembers us fondly and we remember him fondly. He came to Arkansas as a young pup from Sardis, Mississippi, and became a man here. And then we sent him off into the world to make $1 million being a backup for Gus Malzahn. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Dude, this has just got the check. I love this.
I'm just throwing it out there. I have nothing personally against KJ Jefferson either. Like I thought I was the one that wanted him to stay and wanted him to be around, but it was
Bobby
just
didn't want him to be around.
Yeah, and he went elsewhere, and that's fine, and everything. But it's just I'm going with my gut feeling here. Maybe I can't even make rationale towards it. I'm just going off of like kind of like the thing that if someone asks you a question, you got to say the first thing that pops in your mind, yes or no, and it's just like. No, I don't see it that way. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a bad person, and that's fine. I won't.
Hey, I didn't say you're a bad person, John.
No, but I will. I'll say I'm a bad person if I'm wrong. But
at least I don't think you're a bad person because of this. I don't think.
Yeah, it's other things.
KJ Jefferson's not a hog makes you a bad person. You could be a bad person elsewhere, but I do disagree. I think KJ Jefferson he's Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to put a pin in that for a summer topic when things are slow and circle back to it and see if anything changes.
Flipping that out also just to get the internet riled up.
Yeah, that'll be great. I just need more threats from parents and people DMing me saying how dare you. Yeah, that's all I need. But yeah, glad that we could provide that type of a discussion that was happening and going on. But I tell you what, we got some other things we'll get to. We'll continue to get to your chats, folks. But let's go ahead and do a little buy or sell action presented by our friends over at BetSaracen, the #1 sports betting app in the state of Arkansas. You can go to BetSaracen.com and check out all the great specials that they have, whether it's for the Razorback baseball game tonight, which we'll talk about with this midweek. But they also have NBA playoffs going on. They have anything and everything when it comes to the sports world. Get to betting with BetSaracen by going to BetSaracen.com or downloading the app on your iPhone or on your Android. So we're going to do some football, basketball, baseball here for the buy or sell action. And don't you worry, because I am totally not stalling at all because I forgot to put it into the system. It's totally fine whatsoever. But here we go. We'll start with this. Buy or sell that Taylon Green will have a better season than he did last year.
Buy.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a little bit more efficient.
I do too.
Okay. Because some people may say, because of not having the weapons around him, it may not be as easy, but
which is fair. I think it is. I think it is fair. Here's what I think is going to happen. Arkansas is going to be way more dependent on Taylon Green just making stuff happen. And I think in the run game and of course, making dynamic plays with his arm as well. I think he's probably going to run the ball more, which will just make Arkansas a different offense. Like it's going to look completely different. I do think he's going to be a better overall player though.
I think he has less proven high upside weapons around him, but I also think he's going to have better protection, and that I think it's going to help him. I think he's going to be more efficient. Hopefully, he throws more touchdowns.
Yeah, like maybe 64% passing.
Yeah,
maybe 18, 20 touchdowns.
Because will he chill out on the interceptions when he's not getting his head taken off as soon as he receives the snap? I don't know, like he's having to run 20 yards backwards and heave it, things that he shouldn't do, but hopefully positions that he's not in. I think could he be like 2014 Brandon Allen, where he was like game manager, but maybe with just a little bit more running and just kind of engineer his way there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that here's the deal. I know he may not have his winning weapons and all of that, but if he's healthy all year long, he better have a better year, because that's all that everyone's been told. It's like, oh, year 2 under Bobby, year 2 under Bobby, year 2 under Bobby, the development of all right, well, let's see it. So
yeah.
Speaking of that, here's the next one. Buy or sell that KJ Jackson will start 2 or more games this upcoming season.
I think if he does, that means that Taylon Green got seriously banged up, which I think
I'm
is
hoping
very
not.
possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say sell, because I really hope not. Like, I hope Taylon Green is able to just be healthy, give Arkansas the best chance possible to have the best season possible, stay healthy, and KJ Jackson will get his PT against whoever. If KJ Jackson starts 2 or more games, that means that Taylon got not seriously hurt, but like hurt pretty bad.
I'm gonna buy that KJ Jackson appears in more than 2 SEC games, but I'm not going to buy that he starts 2 or more games this season. Talon he's going to be banged up. It just seems like the way he is. Florida State transfer quarterback Trevor Jackson will visit Arkansas tomorrow, by the way.
Wow.
According to Pete Nakos at On3. I don't know anything about him, but that's a thing.
He's
so
great. We want him.
Yeah, we were wondering yesterday about, are they going to try to bring in some veteran help or not, whatever now with Madden out of there. So there's that. But no, that's how I feel. And there were times last year where it looked like Talon's soul left his body after taking a sack or whatever.
Yeah.
But the dude would just somehow be out there ready to play, the next week. So I think he'll be fairly available, but I bet there's going to be some times where he's got to come out because he got dinged up for a few series or whatever. I bet we see quite a bit of KJ Jackson.
Can I tell you about Trevor Jackson real quick?
Please do.
He just finished his freshman season at Florida State. And he made his collegiate debut in a 41-7 victory over Charleston Southern. Served as FSU's scout team quarterback while redshirting. Ran 2 yards on the final snap of the game in his one collegiate appearance. Entered the transfer portal and was an 85 3-star, according to 24/7, as a transfer. As a high school recruit, he was the number 22 quarterback. Looks like he was a 4-star prospect. So
he
former
good.
4-star that played was like the 3rd string quarterback at Florida State last year. Made one appearance,
and that's tough because Florida State was
booty.
Who was that? That was a name quarterback, right?
Uyunglele.
I'm going to trust you on that.
Also a California quarterback of Polynesian descent.
There we go.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, because I saw also, I think it was Matt Zenitz that tweeted out that he was a 4-star recruit and he was the 2nd best quarterback in the state of Florida from that class. So Florida's got pretty good high school football players I last checked. So that's pretty good.
By the way, it's Trevor Trever, not OR.
I almost screwed that up a lot.
Trevor.
Glad we're not writing anymore.
Yeah. Glad we never would have to do that.
I ain't dipping the quill for this
so
one.
what this is basically just a guy who, a former 4-star prospect. I guess he's in the same class as KJ Jackson, from what it sounds like. Just gives you another depth piece, another guy that's around, guy to compete for the backup spot in fall camp.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe he'll be a player that I'm just saying who replaces Madden just, totally. But hey, I mean, you already got a starter. You feel good about KJ Jackson. So bringing him in is not going to hurt you. It's not going to impact you whatsoever. It can only help you.
Yeah. He's at least been in a college program for a year. You know what I mean? It's just some level of, So cool.
Yeah. Good deal. And how about we'll stick with football. We'll get to basketball and also baseball, and then some personal ones that were submitted, which is always interesting. Buy or sell that Razorback football will have a first-team All-SEC player this fall.
Sell,
because I don't know who that would be. Maybe a linebacker, maybe Sorry.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe Sorry. Maybe was Corey Robinson All ACC or no?
Was he? I don't know.
He was.
As a tackle. I don't remember if he was or not. Well, hell, was it because Carmona
was he All SEC last year?
I think so. It might have been like honorable mention or second.
I know he was All Mountain West back in the day.
Yeah, he was that.
So maybe I sold on that a little bit too quick. There's a couple guys
First
there.
team is tough though.
Well, I don't know why you guys are bailing on Devin Bale. He's going to be my first team All-American or All-SEC player. So,
it definitely won't come from the kicking department.
Yeah. Might be good for it.
It does count. All right, buy or sell. This one was submitted, but buy or sell that every Razorback basketball player will have a better season than they did a year ago, excluding the true freshmen. So Razorbacks as well as Razorbacks that were on a different team last year.
So the transfers have to have a better season too?
I'm going to sell that.
Okay.
Listen, I think Malik Ewan's going to be really good for Arkansas. If he comes to Arkansas and averages over 14 points and 7 rebounds per game, the way he did at Florida State and has 9 double-doubles and, then they're really, really cooking with something here. So I don't know if I'm ready to go there. I don't know. Nick Pringle coming off of the best season of his career, averaged nearly 10 and 6. At South Carolina, he's going to come be in a platoon with Ewan and do better than that. I don't know about that one. All the returners though, I'd sign me up for that.
DJ, I could see yes. Even if it's slightly, I can see yes. Carter, I would be stunned if it wasn't yes. Billy will probably. I think he'll just maybe just a couple more points, a little bit more efficient, yada, yada, yada. Then you got freshmen out there. I think Pringle is the one that really jumps out to me. I agree. I don't expect Ewan. Ewan will probably be more in like the 11 to 12, kind of just double-digit points, but not an increase in points. Pringle, right. I would be stunned if Pringle averaged double-digit points on this Razorback team.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if he did.
And if he does, that means Trevin is not going to improve on his stats, and it means Ewan is probably not improving on his stats.
Are we really thinking about like Arkansas center position? They're two guys, giving you, 25 and 15 combined or something. I mean, hell, great.
But also giving you 10 and 7 or whatever. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun. That was a fun one.
Then they got some baseball action. So buy or sell that. Razorback baseball will be a national seed come postseason play.
Buy.
National seeds top 8.
Top 8,
right?
Yeah.
They're I know it's different, but like the polls, they're 5th right now with everybody they got coming up. I'm gonna buy it, but I could see it being like 7th or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not because they're gonna fall off or whatever, but the schedule's tough, bro.
They're kind of due. They've never really had a year like that where like they were fringe national seed. They're usually like number 1, number 3, or they're not hosting anything. You know what I mean? It's like there really isn't much where they're in that. 2017, I think they were like maybe like 12th nationally. Like they're really never in that bubble. I could see them being, like you said, 6, 7, somewhere right there. They're number 5 in RPI right now. And I just don't see a way, even if they lose like 3 more series.
Yeah.
How far is that RPI really going to drop? 6, 7?
Yeah, ridiculous.
You win any of these series, your RPI probably jumps into the top 3. Just going 500 will probably improve your RPI, honestly, because you're going to play literally 3 of the top 4 RPI teams. I think their RPI is going to end up being top 5, top 6-ish. And I think they're going to win enough SEC games, probably 20. 20 is probably the number. If you get to 20 SEC wins with this schedule, you're pretty much a lock as a national seed.
I'm selling it.
Don't like the vibes you're getting, huh? I mean, listen, they got a tough ass series coming up, and then by the time they're back home, maybe they'll have found something. But it's like, I don't know, man. Even if they play well, they can lose a lot of these games down the stretch.
Is there a series the rest of the year here that you look at and go winning that? Like, no hesitation, like they're winning it for sure.
The only reason I'm saying it is Texas. I do feel that way.
Okay.
Simply because Texas is very good, but they are the Arkansas of last year. They've overachieved like an MFer. They're hitting like 262 in SEC play, but their pitching has like held every team 5 runs below their season average. And like I think that's what Jim Schlossnagle does. He just kind of wills this into existence. But I think that they are not like come into bomb and put a whooping on Arkansas. Like I think Arkansas is going to kind of like, I really think that's going to be a series, probably like the series that kind of opens people's eyes to, damn, this Arkansas team really is a juggernaut. Because I think they're going to put it on Texas in bomb. Texas is also due for a stinker of a series. They've been just grinding out series wins and sweeps. Yeah. Like they play 2 close games every week and they just win both of them. It's not like they're dominating teams, but their record is dominant. So I think they're due for some aggression. I think Arkansas is due for like a really good series, and I think it's coming next weekend, not this upcoming weekend.
Well, like I said, and I want people to understand, me saying I'm selling that does not mean that like, oh, they're a bad team and they suck or anything like that. It's simply, I'm fine with it, like them not being a national seed. It's okay. You can still get to the World Series. You can still do that. But I'm also not one of those people that's like, oh, I don't want a national seed because, the curse or whatever. No, like, I just think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I hope I'm wrong, though. All right, so some of the personal ones that were submitted by our research team. We'll start with Andrew, actually, since it's baseball. Buy or sell that Andrew will give up on Razorback baseball if the Hogs lose in the regional again this season.
It's the biggest sell in the world.
He's all hog, man.
He can't quit them.
Yeah, no, I unlike KJ Jefferson, I guess I am a hog, and I will always be a hog.
My career
will be broken though. I was going
to say you might crash out like legitimately, but
I might. What I really might do is I might need like a month off of the pod and just like
regroup,
gather my thoughts, regroup, come back, have dinner with Dave, get him to explain it to me, and then come back and get back on the horse. But no, I'll definitely never give up on Razorback baseball. Come on now.
That's funny.
You may consider it when in the moment, when it happens, if they lose to, Missouri State or something like that, and their home regional, it would be tough. And let's just hope that doesn't happen and we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I'm going to sell that as well. This one was submitted. I'm just reading the choices here, but buy or sell that Curtis would make a better wingman than Andrew.
That's the easiest buy in the world. That's my best attribute. You guys have no clue the type of wingman that I am.
I buy this. I do think you probably would make a better wingman than me, but I don't like how confident you were.
I'm very confident. I just here's the thing, Andrew. If you were a single man, let me just put it that way. I don't want to get you in trouble with Hillary. I feel like you would go from wingman to like trying to steal a girl. I feel like that would be your move. I think you would be that guy, and I respect it. But I feel like I could just stay very committed to the assignment no matter what. I'm looking forward to the day where John hits me up and he's like, "Listen, I need a wingman. Like we gotta go to this fun. We gotta go to this place. I need your support." And I got him. If he wants to find the love of his life, that's all it's got to happen. Very confident in that.
I actually think I'm an above average wingman, just historically speaking.
I think you know what, you probably are. I'm telling you, I'm just elite. That's all.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see you in action now that I think about it. But I had a buddy, one of my best friends growing up, dated one of my other best friends growing up. Like I actually was friends with the girl longer than the guy. And they broke up in high school after dating for a couple years and then got back together later in high school and like used me as their bridge back where like I was with the guy and we saw her out and he was kind of like, hey, I might have to start hollering at her again. And so but he like didn't want to make that leap. So he just started, he was like, hey, see if she wants to come hang out. And I'm like, all right, and so I ended up, and then after like 2 times hanging out, I was like, y'all got to figure this out. Cause I'm out. Like I see where this is going and like, I'm happy, but like, I got to go. But so I feel like I've got some history in the wingman department.
All right.
I've only played the wingman once and it went horrible. So I'm not going to do that. But
I think you got 2 good options here, John.
Yeah. I can't go wrong. I mean, I got Batman and Robin or, Jordan and Pippin or whatever you want to put on it. But yeah, I got that set up. So Chad always cracks me up. We'll get to those in a second. But the final one is for me is a buy or sell that John will have to leave early from Bark at the Park because Rowdy is miserable.
I'm buying the hell out of that.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to happen. The poll I put out yesterday of asking, should I do it, overwhelmingly said yes. And so I'm going to give it the old college try. I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. But trying to decide because they're doing it for tonight and tomorrow night. So trying to decide which one would be the best setup. Weather's going to be nice both times. Tomorrow's at 5:00. Which is a little bit weird.
It's a weird.
Less people will be there tomorrow, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll consider it. But
is Rowdy the type to like panic poop on the concourse or?
No, I wouldn't say panic poop. He's more of just like the type to just like sit on my foot because he wants to be as close to me as possible without him getting just whatever he's scared of. It could be anything. So
that's the number one reason I wouldn't take my dog. He would definitely panic poo.
Yeah,
he does that at the vet. Like before I can even take him in there, we got to go take a lap because you already know what's going to happen. So
yeah, sometimes I felt like I should just do it like with kids in the pool back in the old days, just throw them in the pool and teach them how to swim. It's probably not the best way to do it, but I feel like it should be with Rowdy. Just throw them in there in the hog pen and see what happens.
Hey, what's going on in Raw Hogs profile picture?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Dude, that's crazy. I think that's John though.
Yeah, you think? What made you have that guess?
I'd recognize that angle from anywhere, man.
Yeah.
Bro, that's wild.
Sheesh.
That's crazy, man.
Oh, good times.
Too much of that AI stuff, man, for my liking of like, I'm afraid. Like I got somebody that's got a fake Twitter account of me now that's like going around and it's like, everything is AI of my face, and it just concerns me really, really a lot. So if you're listening and you're watching the show and that's you, please don't mind.
I'm sure that'll shut them up.
Yeah. I'm saying please. And please. Surely they'll drop it right then and there. So either way. All right. Well, that's your buy or sell action. And I always love when people
Yeah, I did see about this. This made me very sad.
He got arrested. That's him now. He got public intox. That's him. And we're talking about a guy, first round pick in the wide receiver class.
We're 100% sure that that's the real him.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I've heard murmurs about this.
Just wow.
Yeah. Rough look.
Dude, and he was unbelievable. Was it? Well, I guess it was the Jaguars that drafted him, but like as soon as he got drafted, he just like completely let it go.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma State, dude, he was crazy. He was viewed. I mean, I guess he was right after Des Bryant. He was kind of viewed as like the next Megatron.
Because I don't remember who the quarterback was throwing it to.
Next Des Bryant.
Yeah, I don't remember the quarterback that was throwing it to him. It wasn't whoever the 27-year-old was, because he was the one throwing to Dez.
I was gonna say it wasn't the Ginge.
I don't think so. I'd have to go back and look. But either way, yeah, he was really good. That's why he was a first-round pick.
Oh, he was electric, dude. By the way, not only was the Madden Ia-Malava story written by the end of the day, it was written before the end of the show. Trey Wallace at Outkick has a story out, and I just retweeted it.
Oh, sweet.
About the whole.
By the way, it definitely was Whedon that was throwing to him.
Was it Whedon? Okay.
Before Whedon. Dez was getting like I'm trying to think of who their quarterback would have been. What mediocre arm they had slinging it back then. But Whedon it was 2011 when they went to they were the number one team in the country and then ended up going to the Rose Bowl or whatever. Justin Blackmon was on that team and had like 1,700 yards.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I guess I didn't remember that part of it. But anyways. Yeah, I'm going to have to read that story. I'm going to read all these stories about coming out about the
big reading day.
Yeah. It's a big reading day. All right. So a few of your chats, folks. We're getting close to wrapping up here. Appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us. We had a few things, which, that's kind of how the show goes sometimes. When breaking news happens, we pivot and we talk about it. So good to have. Let's see. We got Bob McNutt, Kentucky fan, says, y'all going to lose to Memphis, so don't get y'all's hopes up.
I mean, if you're coming to this particular program expecting high hopes for football,
yeah, no, we were definitely.
You probably want to go to a different show, buddy.
You know what is so bad is that I was sitting here thinking he was talking basketball because I was not even thinking football, and I was going to make fun of him, like, yeah, you idiot. Arkansas and Memphis don't play each other yet. How would you know if they play each other yet this regular season? It's like, nope, he's talking football. So it's
that's the case. That's outrageous.
Yeah, that's really stupid. So, Trey says, hey Curtis, if you want, want to wingman someone, I need one bad. So
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. There's no limit.
Services are available.
Yeah.
How much is your rate?
I don't know. I got to see what the market value. I'll talk to Remy.
There you go.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Start negotiating there.
Curtis was just telling me the other day how much he was dying to go wingman Trey.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, speaking of this, we haven't had anything official yet, but guys, remember that whole Bass Pro or the bass fishing team for the U of A? Mm-hmm. We're going to get something going here soon. I've been talking with them. So we're going to, it's going to be an afternoon, because I told them, it's like, they said, oh, you could do like really early morning or early afternoon. It's like early afternoon, because that ain't happening of getting up there at 5 a.m. So anyways, we'll be in touch on that. It'll be fun to do some bass fishing. The official U of A team.
I got my yum dingers. I'm ready to go.
Sure. I don't know what that is, but it sounds right. I can't wait to get a hook caught in my finger. Let's see. We got Hog Gone. It says, any update on Parker Coyle?
Yeah. So Parker Coyle, they said I don't think he's going to return this week. Maybe not even next week. But the last we heard, Dave said that his injury was not as bad as they thought initially. Like it's progressing better. The MRI was good. We initially heard 4 to 5 weeks, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So I don't know if it like changed the timeline. I don't know if he meant like he's going to be back sooner. I think the timeline is still 4 to 5 weeks. So most likely looking at that home series against Texas. But it does seem like they got some good news on Parker Coyle, because there was some fear initially that like he might be like out for the year for real. And it doesn't seem like that's the case. Like he's going to be back probably before the end of the regular season. And so good news for Arkansas, because they could certainly use him. They do not have a left-handed reliever out of the bullpen that is like really helping them right now. And I love Cole Gibler, but Lights were a little too bright the other night.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Also, I wish we could play it, but did you guys see Shaq last night on NBA on TNT crap himself as he had to run off the set? Really funny. If you haven't seen that, it was a really funny thing. Just wanted to throw that out there too. So
it happens.
Trey's cracking me up over here. He's like, also I'm broke as hell, Curtis. So I hope you don't cost too much for the wingman. I don't think he would.
Shaq, soiling himself is like the least controversial thing that's happened with those talking heads here in the last couple of days. So
yeah.
Hey, did you see Paul Heyman's thing yesterday?
I did actually. Yes.
Hit the robots. What was it? They saw that somebody they said somebody was dead and they weren't. Was that what the biggest thing was? I only saw a little bit of it, but
they did kill someone. Yes.
Yeah.
They pulled a Stephen A.
Folks, I'm telling you, like you talked about it on the Nolan Richardson deal, and Stephen A. killed Nolan Richardson, even though he said he didn't, but he did. Like that is like the biggest thing, biggest no you do in broadcasting is. But you can say some stuff. You can drop an F-bomb. Just don't kill somebody on air when they're not killed and they're not dead. That's the worst. That's the worst. So, anyways, well, I thought I had something else to bring up, but
Shannon Sharp. No. Kanye.
No. There's so many things with Kanye. That's a show. Like somebody should just start a podcast on Kanye and just do it every day because there's so much going around for that man.
Crazy.
But he wrote Graduation. How many? Come on, he's a college dropout. It's good.
I saw someone on Twitter say that this is now the official end of but he made Graduation. Like that, the Graduation is officially expired now.
I know. I'm trying. Man, it's just so good. It's one of those things where I don't approve of anything that he does, but man, the guy had some good music. That's what I'm saying. Like he had some good stuff. But don't approve.
OJ could run that damn ball though, couldn't he?
That's right. Michael Jackson wrote Thriller, man. Like, come on now. Like at some point in time, you just got to roll with it. But either way, guys, any final thoughts before we roll out of here for the day?
No, none that won't get me canceled, man. I think I'm good for the day.
Yeah, no, we really we're stopping ourselves before we get completely off the rails, which I appreciate. We've never done that before, but I'm glad we're phoning this. We're saving this for a later date.
Yeah. We sometimes flirt with it a little bit.
We're leading off the show tomorrow with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, totally. So you better tune in and subscribe to us because of that fact. But yeah, we always flirt with going off the rails, but we stay the course for now. We'll probably at some point in time go off the rails. But either way, hey, we appreciate each and every one of you, though, watching and listening into us here at Inside Arkansas. Be sure to subscribe to us at Inside Arkansas. You can check out all of our audio version podcasts, wherever podcasts are found, whether it's Inside Arkansas Live, Pod at the Palace, or the Bombastic Podcast. You can go on our website, InsideArkansas.com, for all the latest and greatest up-to-date information on all things Razorbacks. And we're going to keep it going from there. So for Andrew Ellis, as well as Curtis Wilkerson, I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you then.